national level webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us very well aware, plants have always played a pivotal role as sources for drug-led compounds. Early humans and experience treated their illness by using plants only. Hence, the history of medicinal plants is as long as the history of humans. Medicinal plants possesses therapeutic properties or exert beneficial pharmacological effect on the human or animal body. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly about 80% of world's population still depends solely on traditional or herbal medicine for treatment of diseases, mostly in India, Africa, and other developing nations. Indian traditional medicine, Ayurveda devises its treatment largely on plants, salts, and metal compounds. The use of medicinal plants is presently galore due to easy availability, affordability, accessibility, and promising efficacy, comparable to the often high cost and adverse effects of standard synthetic drugs. Added to it, absence of proven preventive or therapeutic drugs to certain diseases, including the new pandemic COVID-19, have made people world over to seek for traditional herbal drugs, both in desperation and also in hope. Moreover, rise of nationalism, along with the success story of yoga and Ayurveda in recent times, has led to the establishment of authority named Ayush Department in India. Now we see a craze for herbal medicine spreading even beyond developing countries. Unfortunately, people of present generation, having grown with contempt towards Ayurveda, know little about native and very common plants around us with high medicinal values. Our elders who lived quite healthy with these traditional drugs have either disappeared or lost interest in disseminating their knowledge to younger generation who indiscriminately relied upon allopathy. Although most of the potent medicinal plants have relatively no toxic or adverse effects when used by humans, there are some very toxic to both humans and animals, with the potential to damage certain organs in the body. This calls for caution in the use of medicinal plants. Therefore, we have arranged this webinar with the hope that it will educate interested people regarding safe use of medicinal plants. Ladies and gentlemen, we feel really fortunate to have an enlightened scholar, Dr. V. Balakrishnan, to speak on this topic, and I humbly request him to educate us on this matter of medicinal plants. Once again, on behalf of the college and management, I extend you, sir, a warm welcome. I welcome all the participants to this national level webinar, welcoming one and all. I request our resource person, Dr. V. Balakrishnan, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you.
I would like to thank for inviting me as a resource person, the Secretary and Management of Sri Bhuvanendra College, Karkela, Karnataka, and Dr. Manjunatha Kotiyan, Principal of Sri Bhuvanendra College of Arts and Science, Karkela. Then I am specially thanks to Dr. Yogesh Kumar inviting me and selecting me as one of the resource person for this webinar. I wholeheartedly welcome the faculty members of Sri Bhuvanendra College, then participants from various places of India. I wholeheartedly welcome in this glorious morning. So now I'm going to present my topic. So welcome. We are glad to join with us. So myself, Balakrishnan Velichami. So now I am going to present the medicinal plants for human health care. So mega diversity countries. India is one of the 17 mega diversity countries in the world according to the midterm year report in 2000. So hotspots in the world. In 1988, 10 tropical forests available in the world level. Then 1990, after 2 years, additionally added another 8 hotspots in the world level. After 10 years, 1 decade, in the year 2000, 7 additional hotspots are added. Totally, we reached 25 hotspots. In 2009, additionally, we added another 9 hotspots in the world. So 34 hotspots we reached. In 2011, 1, and 2016, 1. So totally, we reached now 36 hotspots according to the report of Norman Mayers. So the hotspots reveals that the high concentration of endemic plants, including habitat or individual plants. Then nowadays, a lot of depressants or anthropogenic pressures in the worldwide level. The hotspots are undergoing some disturbances in the present scenario. So in the total world, the Earth's covering only 2.3 percentage. Then 50 percentage of the birds are now endemic, especially in plant species. Then 42% of terrestrial vertebrates, then 86% of their original habitat. So these are the highlights of the hotspots in the world level. Then India contain various geographical locations, especially in biodiversity aspects. So Coromandel Coast, then Malabar Coast, then Konkan Coast, then as well as Himalayan regions and Northeast regions. These are all the rich biodiversities and also various kinds of ecosystem present in Indian scenario. But in India, contain well rich of forest ecosystem with enormous mediscapes and ornamental plant species. What about the total number of plant species, including viruses, bacteria, algae, fungi, and lichens, and their status in the world and as well as in India? So we are categorized the plant kingdom in flowering plants, then non-flowering plants, then others. So some of the percentage occurs in Indian level and the number of endemic species and the number of threatened species. So flowering plants such as in gymnosperms and as well as the angiosperms, then non-flowering plants, bryophytes and pteridophytes, and others that are cryptogames, viruses, bacteria, and also algae, fungi, and lichens. So these are all the data released by the National Environmental Information System in 2018. So India is the mega diversity country. Why it is called as mega diversity country? So we have 4 biodiversity hotspots, and we have 5 central cities and 12 biogeographical provinces. And so this is the credit of India mega biodiversity. So what are the biodiversity hotspots available in India? The first rank goes to Himalayas. Himalayan mountain contain rich of medicinal plant species and as well as the animals. Then second rank goes to Western Ghats. It's also covering larger area and it's also contain larger amount of medicinal plant species and so on. Then the third one is the Indo-Burma region. Then fourth one is the Sunderland, including Nicobar and islands also. So these four hotspots contain numerous endemic species and as well as the living medicinal species. Then what about the importance of medicinal plants? Nowadays, people are commonly using medicinal plants in various to treat various diseases and so on. So medicinal plants are considered a rich resources of ingredients because nowadays we are using, supposed to cook, we are using so many spices. So these are all obtained from the plant resources. Why we are using? So that medicinal plants can be used in drug development, either in pharmacopoeial or non-pharmacopoeial or synthetic drugs. So it's contain essential oils and so vitamins and the medicinal properties, phytocomponents. So that's why we are using medicinal plants in daily day-to-day life. Apart from that, these plants play a critical role in the development of human culture around the whole world. So now we are in position to search the lot of medicinal plants in and around our locality. So medicinal plants, the plant that has similar properties as conventional pharmaceutical drugs, because the traditional people mostly use the medicinal plant resources to treat the various diseases. So lot of phytocomponents are effectively inhaled by the human beings and it's used without any adverse effect or side effects. The humans have used them throughout the history to either cure lessened symptoms from an illness. Some of the pharmaceutical the drug is produced in the laboratory to cure or help illness. Most of the pharmaceutical drugs are obtained from the medicinal plant resources nowadays. So the recent report says that nearly 40% of our prescription of the medicines comes from the plant extract, especially medicinal plant extract. So in the form of synthesized plant compounds. So this is the recent trends of the medicinal plants. So what about the development of the medicine? So there are 5 different phases in molecular imaging applications from the discovery of the market launch of a new drug. So first the discovery, second one is the preclinical development, third one is the clinical development, then approval, then finally the product reached to the market. So the first phase of drug development involves in the laboratory experiments. So we are using animal models, a lot of animal models, and as well as another models for using the discovery of the drugs from the particular medicinal plant resources. The second phase is to test the target, the discovery of the drug in clinical trials to evaluate the safety and efficacy of the particular patients. Then, despite technological advances, nowadays we have a lot of equipments to discovery or identify the particular drug or phytocomponents from the medicinal plants. So these type of new medicines come to the market in every year with the approval of the medical mission. So first the clinical trials is the preclinical trials. Then it moves to the phase 1. So in phase 1, we are treating 20 to 80 participants. So patients. So the drug approved for testing in human beings. Then we entered the phase 2. So the phase 1 is fast, means we entered into the phase 2. Here we are utilizing 100 to 300 participants of the patients, then phase 3, 1000 to 3000 participants, and finally the FDA review to confirm the safety and the effectiveness of the particular drug from the medicinal resources, and phase 4, 1,000 plus more participants added. Finally, the drug is approved. This is the stage the peoples are discovering the drugs from the laboratory to market. Then types of medicine. Peoples are using various types of medicine in our ancestral system. So that practices are known as traditional medicinal system. So the traditional medicinal system followed in European, Chinese people, Korean, African. So in India, we are using Ayurveda system, Siddha medicine system, Unani medicine, and the ancient Iranian medicine. Peoples of Persian used Iranian, then Islamic medicine, Matti and Ifa. So these are all different kinds of traditional medicinal system used by the people in the worldwide, especially our own world peoples or our own ancestors. So the medicinal plants are great importance to the health of individuals and communities because the medicinal plants are very good, tremendous role in our health actually. So it's maintain our quality of the health without any side effects. That's why people searching still medicinal plants, even it is fever or cough or cold, whatever it may be. The medicinal value of these plants lies in some chemical substances. Lot of chemical substances present in every plant species. So these chemical substances produce a definite physiological action. So that is a important role of medicinal plants. The phytocomponents activate our immune system. That is the most important thing. Lot of chemical compounds are present in every plant. These plants are involved in a vital role. So in India, the Ministry of Ayush, that means Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. So these are all the 5 major areas, thirst areas. So a separate ministry called as Ministry of Ayush. They are also encouraging our traditional medicinal system. First one is Ayurveda. So the Ayurveda or Ayurvedic medicine is a system of traditional medicine, especially this is the native of India, which uses a variety of treatments, including Panchakarma, yoga, massage, acupuncture, herbal medicine. So these are all the very effective in nature, especially for human beings. So we have to encourage our health and as well as the well-being. So in every year, 28th October is celebrated as the National Ayurvedic Day in India. So this is the milestone of our Ayurvedic system of medicine. Peoples from abroad, they are also landing in India for the Ayurvedic treatment, especially peoples, lot of Ayurvedic Siddha Sala available in Kerala state. Then next one is the yoga and naturopathy. Recently, the government of India to promote the yoga in school education and as well as the college education level. So this is the mind refreshing. The yoga and naturopathy is implementing in our system. So mind refreshing system. So when we are follow the yoga and naturopathy, automatically the weight loss, some disease management, then stress management, then Panchakarma therapy. So these are all the very good followers of the yoga and naturopathy. So in every year, 21st June, the International Day of Yoga is celebrated. An alternative alternative medicine. So that originated in the India, and also some other use of herbal remedies, especially dietary practices, then some alternative, the traditional system of medicine is currently one of the India's oldest systems of medicine.
Sir, hello sir. Audio is not getting sir.
It's okay now.
Yeah sir, yeah, fine, fine sir.
So traditional system of healing that originated in South India and is considered to be one of the India's oldest system of medicine. So the Siddha system is basically a combination of ancient medicinal practices and also spiritual disciplines, and as well as the alchemy and the mysticism. So these are all the first people to invent the Siddha medicine. The World Siddha Day is celebrated in every Chitrai first. That means the Tamil New Year first day, celebrated as the Siddha Day. So these are all the Siddhas. That means 18 Siddhas available in South India. So these 18 peoples are the first MPBSians, because they invent a lot of herbal products for treating various kinds of diseases in human beings. Agasthyar, Bogar, Tirumular, Idakkaattu Sittar, Valmiki Sittar, Kudambai Sittar, Karuvurar, Unganar, Ramadevar, Sundaranar, Kamalamuni, Dhanvantri, Pambatti Sittar, Sivavakkiyar, Patanjali, and Sattai Sittar. So these are all 18 Sittars inventing amazing herbal drugs from the natural resources. They are living only in the forest system. So in every 13th January, the day is celebrated as the Siddha medicine. Then next one is the homeopathy. Last one is the homeopathic system. So Samuel Kahneman is the father of homeopathy. So some of the symptoms are healthy reactions of the body's defense mechanism. So to treat the patient according to the symptoms. So that is the homeopathy. So the main aim of the homeopathy is strengthen our body so it can resist harmful organisms. So a system of complementary medicine is initiated in this system to treated by very minute doses of natural substances. So we are using only little bit of natural compounds for this homeopathic system. So amounts of would produce symptoms on the ailment. So how homeopathy helps? One is the clear mind and calm emotions, then all organs and a systematic improvement in the function and efficiency, then reference to sleep, then mental alertness, then flexibility and adaptability of vitality, then strengthen our stamina, then sense of well-being. So these are all the helping of the homeopathic system of medicine. So people commonly use it for homeopathy for chronic pain, then allergies and asthma, then warts and age spots, and PMS and menopause and anxiety and depression. So this is the homeopathic system of medicine. So next we pass on to ethnobotany. So what's meant by ethnobotany? The study of how the particular people, particular culture used to the region make use of indigenous medicinal plant species. So ethnobotanists explore how plants are used for such things as, for example, food, shelter, medicine, clothing, and hunting, divination, cosmetic aspect, dyeing aspect, textile aspect, construction tools, currency aspect, literature, rituals, social life, religious ceremonies. So this is the ethnobotany. So ethnobotany is the study of how the people used it. That the compounds, most of the compounds are obtained in the recent past, like morphine from opium, cocaine, codeine, digitoxin, and quinine. So these are all the phytocompounds that people's identified earlier when the instruments is absent. So that is the history of our ancient peoples. So it is worthwhile of mention that a dozen of effective valuable drugs are discovered during the last 40 years from the higher plants. That means vascular plant resources by various types of screening. So how the peoples are used the particular plant species in the form of decoction, then infusion, in the form of pickle, then the form of paste, in the form of powder, in the form of juice, in the form of cooked items. So these are all the various percentage covering by utilizing the medicinal plant resources. This is the thing. Then Celtus, he is the father of ethnobotany. Richard Evans is the modern father of ethnobotany. Then various parts in plant species, various parts generally used are to select the medicinal purposes. Either it may be a whole plant or wood or gum, latex or stem or some other parts or fruits or root or bark or seed, whatever it may be. So people separately they have to collect the particular parts and prepare the medicine and to provide the patients. So this is the technique people generally followed the mode of preparation aspects. Then tribals. India with rich diversity of peoples, especially most of the hill regions contain a lot of tribal peoples. So this is the cultural activities and habitat and the dressing sense of the tribal peoples in India. Then plants. Plants are the most commonly used ingredients in the preparation of ethnoveterinary medicines. Not only in ethnobotanical aspect, in ethnoveterinary aspect, lot of animals are also suffered. People they are providing medicinal plant resource extracts to the plants. Then all parts of the plants, including leaves and bark, fruits, either it may be a flowers or seeds, are commonly used for the preparation of the medicine from the plant resources. So at present, more than 35 plant species are known to have healing properties. This is the record of the ethnobotany generally. Then what about the branches of ethnobotany? So nearly 20 branches are available in ethnobotanical aspect. So first one is the ethnobiology. So what about the application of the bryophytes, usage of bryophytic species? Then ethnocosmetics. So the botanicals, how they are used as the cosmetic aspect, then ethnodietetics in the value of food, then ecology in the species, communities, and nature and general level, then ethnogastrology, gastrology aspect, folk peoples they are generally used. Then ethnogynecological aspects, female fertility, contraception, pregnancy, and childbirth in a community. Lot of fruits and vegetables and ornamentals are commonly usage of particular horticultural crops for the folk people. Then ethnomedicine. So folk people generally using for to prevent or lessening the curing of diseases and to prepare the folk medicine in various aspects. Then indigenous beliefs, concept, and knowledge of practices among the ethnic group that is known as the ethnomedicine. Then ethnomedicobotany. So what are the drugs obtained from the plant resources by ethnic people or rural people or folk people? That is the ethnomedicobotany. Then ethnomusicology. Peoples they are using tree resources or any other plant resources and to make a music instruments in the forest ecosystems. So that is known as ethnomusicology. Then ethno-narcotics. What about the narcotics? That is fibers. That group of folk people are as they are also produce the narcotics. Then ethno-ophthalmology related to eye-related issues, to injury of the eye. So people they are using the medicinal plant resources for ophthalmological aspect. Then ethno-orthopedics. So indigenous beliefs, knowledge, concept, and practice for healing of bones. So people commonly use the plant resources for healing the bones. Then ethnopediatrics. So indigenous knowledge, concept, and practices about the care of children's sickness, supposed to cold or fever. So people use such type of complaints and pain. The people use ethnopediatrics by our traditional peoples. Then ethnopaleobotany. Ethnobotanical aspects of fossilized plants and materials is commonly used in ethnopaleobotany aspect. Then ethnopharmacy. So it deals with the dispensing of medicine. How we can collect the particular medicinal plants by ethnic group or people or race about the collecting and the preparation methods and preserve the particular plant species or medicine. So that is the ethnopharmacy. It is always available in the folk system. Then ethnopharmacology, some pharmacological studies. What about the vital role of the active component of the particular medicinal plant? So biological activity. So we identified antimicrobial activity, antiviral activity, so and so, or sometimes anti-diabetic activities or anti-stress activities. So that is the race of indigenous concepts and methods of observation and experimentation on the drugs. So that is the ethnopharmacology. Then ethnotoxicology. So what about the toxic substances, intoxicant substances present in the particular plant species in any ethnic group, all people or race? That is the study about the plant toxicity, toxicology in ethno-veterinary aspect deals with the plant species, how people use the plant species to the animals for the treatment of various diseases and veterinary aspect. The last one is the ethnozoology. So deals with all aspects of direct relationship between man and animals. So that is ethnozoology. Even ethnozoology also categorized by various types. So these are all 20 branches contribute more amount of contribution in ethnobotanical aspect. So these are all knowledge obtained from our own folk people, our own ancestor peoples, our own Siddhars, 18 Siddhars. So we are always thankful to them. Then these are all the extracts and methods. So by component separation or oils from plant materials. So this is the flow chart. We are extracting the particular compound. Then plants still represent us or scientists day by day. They are involving the identification of new drugs. Why we identifying so increased? New diseases are also come over here, like COVID-19. So the biologist or scientist always searching the new drugs. So that is the new biologically active compounds identification. That is the most important thing in medicinal plant species. So it starts in the field, depends on specific ethnic information obtained from the local practitioners. So the first people is the local people or folk people, that people having enormous knowledge. So we can gain from their knowledge, then identify the particular component or new biologically active component present in the system. So in India, several medicinal systems have evolved chiefly based on regional variations. So prominent among these systems are Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani medicines. So these are all very helpful to our poor Indian people, not only poor Indian people, the world level poor peoples. So that will help the Ayurvedic system to the particular communities. So mostly the plant and the plant derived products are the part of healthcare system since ancient human civilization. Mostly people taking a larger amount of food from the plant resources only next to the non-vegetarian. So it is a little bit. So we have taken weekly 7 days from the plant-based food, but weekly 1 day in one time only we are taking the non-vegetarian food. So the plant species and the plant derived products is most important thing nowadays. So we really thank to the farmers and our traditional system of medicine ancestors. So the need of new chemical entities for healthcare is explored and several through the plant sources. So grapes and berries, red wine, black green tea, coca, soybeans, pomegranates, olive oil, fish oil, ginkgo, havatran, ginseng, and garlic. So these are all the important food items we are taking regularly. So it is also providing some chemical substances in our health. They will promote our health in the immunity wise. So these are all the secondary metabolites from the plant resources, medicinal plant resources. It contain terpenoids, phenolics, then saponins, glycosides, then alkaloids. Lot of chemical substances are present. So we activate in our immune system and they activate our own enzyme system. So the predicted confirmed the dicot tetrapene synthetase. Then some of the functions dicot cycloterenol synthase and monocot cycloterenol synthase, then conifer cycloterenol synthase, then dicot lipolase synthase. So these are all the different categories. So they also regulate or activate our enzymes in our immune system. So this is the role of secondary metabolites. These features shows that our own secondary metabolites, how they act in our immune system. Then analysis. So nowadays, a lot of equipments, various for the identification of phytocomponents from the medicinal plant resources. So we are getting easily in the form of graph. So what are the chemical components present in the particular plant species? So we are identifying easily. Then what about the structure of the particular medicinal plants? We are sketching and drawing the particular chemical components. Then quality standard of the plant. First of all, we have to select the particular plant species in the form of herbal tool tree species. So we observe the plant parts through micro and macroscopic identification with the help of fluoras. So what about the botanical name and the nomenclature of the particular plant species? Then the second aspect is phytomarker analysis. What about the phytocomponents present in the particular system? So we are entered into the phytomarker analysis. Then the development of ensuring the quality standard by DNA barcoding of medicinal plant species and SOP of Ayurvedic drug manufacturing and the stability and the safety methods of the particular medicinal plant species. So in this way, we have to analyze the quality standard of the particular medicinal plant. Then how we can standardize on the quality evaluation of the herbal drugs. One is the botanical aspect. Botanical aspect, we are undergoing the examination by macroscopic and microscopic evaluation. Then physical aspect, what about the moisture content and extraction values and ash values and fluorescence analysis. Then chemical analysis. So we are using various chromatographic techniques. What are the phytocomponents present in the particular system, and as well as any heavy metals are present or any pesticide residues or mycotoxins present in the particular plant species. This is the chemical analysis. Then next one is the biological examination. So what about the microbial contamination in toxicological aspect and pharmacological aspect? Then other specific activities, whether it may be an anti-diabetic aspect or whatever it may be. Then antagonistic, then bacterial fungal activities. Then finally organoleptic activity. What about the color, order, taste, texture, and fracture? So this is the organoleptic activities. So these are all the quality evaluation of the herbal drug. The chart is released by CSIR. Then what about the biological evaluation of the herbals? So the plant morphology. First we analyze the plant morphology markers. So undergoing the process biological evaluation. Then the quality markers will helpful for the identification of the traceability in production chain and transitivity in production chain. So the quality process control and the quality standard from the raw material to the products. So this is the steps for the identification of new drug molecule from the plant resources. So next chapter we pass on to medicinal plants on skincare. So most of the ladies or most of the gentlemen wanted to keep their young age. So people, they are searching some of the medicinal plants or some of the massage, some of the Ayurvedic treatment for maintaining of the skin. So skin is the most important thing in the observation part. So mostly people are using Embolica officinalis belongs to the family Plantaceae. It's contain enrichment of vitamin C and gallic acid and ellagic acid. It is generally used for skin care. So these are all the phytocomponents, limbic acid, dry galloglucid. So these are all commonly found in the phytocomponents in Embolica. So generally it is also used in the hair dyes. Then dry fruit powder is used to shampooing and hair aspect. Then tannic for root growth, for the better root growth. It is also provide the tonic. So this is also one of the important skincare plant. Then next one is the Rubia Cardifficalia, belongs to the family Rubiaceae. The phytocomponents are purpurine, mangosteen, and alizarin. Neoanthraquinone derivatives are present. In the form of marketed product is the mangista. So the mangist is generally used for the skin care. Then the dry root of the particular plant Rubia Cardifficalia and stem powder rubbed with the honey, mixed with the honey, and recommended as the cure for dark spots on the face. The people commonly use it. This is also marketed a product available. Then second, the third one is the Acacia consina. That in Tamil belongs to the family Mimosaceae. So these are active components: saponin seed, then acacia B and B, then acacic acid left on sapogenin B. So these compounds present in the Acacia consina. So the dry powder of the pods is used to promote hair growth and prevent hair splitting and falling dandruff. Then healthy growth of the hairs. So keep their hair in original color. This is the major role in the medicinal aspect and also maintain the skin also. Then Carica macrophylla belongs to the family Verbenaceae. The luteolin is the major phytocomponent present in the Carica. Then tetracyclic diterpene, caliterpinone, acetate, and apigenin. So these are all the major phytocomponents. So the fruit dry powder is blended in crayons and to treat the acne, pimples, and blemishes and other allergic skin patches. This is the application of the Carica. Then Asadiracta India. So we know all neem plant. So it is also one of the important plant species. So skin care, especially for hair and scalp care, it is used. A lot of products, marketed products are available in various healthcare companies. They are released. So azadirachtin is the major phytocomponent present in the leaves. So then another one is the salicylic, then ribidin, then methanol, then rimbin. So these are all the major phytocomponents present in the system. So we are using the particular leaf extract or leaf paste is applied in the skin. So we have to improve our skin care activities. Then another most important, we know turmeric, Curcuma longa, belongs to the family Gingiberaceae. So here the curcumin is the active component, phytochemical compounds present in the curcumin. Apart from curcumin, D-alpha-philandrin, D-sabinin, cineol, original, gingiberine. So these are all present in the phytocomponents. So not only used for the skin aspect, turmeric paste with the lime extract used for sprains and bruises available in our space, and also improve the color of the skin, yellowish in color. When people are bathing with the help of turmeric instead of soap, automatically the skin color is improved. So that is the major component. Most of the women commonly use the curcuma longa during the bath, and also it is a good antibacterial containing medicinal plant, and also wound dressing. Then the fibers are also making some of the treatments. Then the petioles are used in the textile departments. The fibers are commonly used wound dressing. So wound dressing means it's also contained rich amount of curcumin, so it will helpful for the healing of wound. So nowadays some of the bandage, some bandages are also identified for wound dressing aspect with the turmeric coated. Then curcuma amada, that means it belongs to gingiberaceae. It is called as white ginger. So it is also contain cinnamic acid and p-comaric acid, gallic acid, synergenic acid. So these are all the active phytocomponents present in the white ginger. So the dry rhizome powder is commonly used in face packs and to cure acne and blemishes. So this is the major thing. Then aloe vera, we know very well, aloe vera belongs to family Liliaceae. Generally, it is used for hair falling, dandruff, and sunburn. So, and also improve our digestive system. So some of the compound anthraquinone used in aloe vera, it's a laxative property and may help to treat constipation issues also. So treating skin conditions such as psoriasis and acne. So the aloe vera creams are commonly used to cure such type of diseases, especially to reduce the itchiness and inflammation. So alanine and aloe embodine is the major phytocomponents present in the aloe vera. Then Asparagus racemosus, the root, especially the root commonly used. A lot of marketed products are also available nowadays. So the root is commonly used for wrinkles and face, round wrinkles and space. So we have to treat such type of treatment, Asparagus racemosus. These are all various phytochemical compounds present in the Asparagus racemosus. We know very well, this is the xerophytic plant, Opuntia delaney, belongs to the family Cactaceae. This is also commonly used for skincare products, especially for lipstick. So I am also in the younger stage, within 10 years old boy, I am also using like this. The people are with the school going along with my friends. So using like this, most of them. The fruit is the commonly used. The pigments, especially in lipstick pigments, also extracted from the particular sources, natural lipsticks. So it is also very helpful in lip care. The fruits, lot of phytochemicals, especially in rutin, dihydrogen, taxifolin, then arculin, so on. So they are also present in the Opuntia delaney. So this is the skincare commonly used for skincare aspects. Then Lawsonia inermis. So this is also commonly known as henna powder. So leaves generally used for color of the hairs and as well as the heat reducer. So whenever we apply in the nails, so it will also reduce the heat in our body and the strengthening of the nail. So that's the most important thing. So people nowadays use such type of belongs to literacy. Then next we pass on to second chapter, plants and herbs that naturally repel mosquitoes. So mosquitoes is nowadays very dangerous for human beings especially. So there is no proper drainage system available in our nearby places. So automatically the mosquitoes are breeding. Then it will populate high amount. So these are all the different plant species. A lot of plants are also reported mosquito repellent activities. I also quoted only few plants here. So one is the citronella, lemon balm, catnip, marigolds, basil, lavender, peppermint, garlic, whitex, geranimus, rosemary, then perillimal. So these are all the different plant species commonly used in the natural repellent mosquitoes. So dental care. So dental care means they are using different plant species are commonly used. So these are all the species to take care of our teeth and as well as the mouth. So some of the plant parts rhizome, some of the plant bulb parts, some of the plant they are also take care of our teeth. Some stem bars are also used. So these are all the bark, chivi relief, toothache, then powder of dry leaves. So along with salt is applied in painful teeth. So it is also very useful in bleeding gums. So there are various aspects in dental care. Plants, this is also listed in very few, but a lot of researchers reported large amount of plant species is commonly used for dental care aspects. Then wound healing medicinal plants. A lot of plants are also reported for wound healing. Especially the researchers are going on to identify the new drugs to developing in the modern biomedical sciences. So scientists who are trying to develop the new drugs from the Ayurvedic system, from our Indian medicinal system. So several drugs of the plant, mineral and animal origin are generally described in the Ayurvedic system of the wound healing properties under the term Vrankopaka. So most of the drugs are derived from the plant origin as per wound healing properties. So some of these plants have been screened scientifically for the evaluation of their wound healing activity in different pharmacological models and also patients, but the potential, most of the remains are unexplored. So only little bit of plant species are also identified in wound healing, but people's so researches is going on in worldwide to identify new drug molecules from the medicinal plant resources. So in a few cases, active chemical constituents. So that is the most important thing. The chemical constituents is not a problem. What about the active chemical constituents to identify for wound healing? That is the most important thing. So when compared to this medicinal plant having enormous activity, it is a very good phyto components are present, then very active in nature. So that type of plants is modified. So while in modern medicinal system, so we are using paracetamol, then dolo for fever. So which one is best? Like that, here also we are identifying a lot of plant species to develop the active thing. So wound healing is not a single phase. It's having 4 major phases. First one is the hemostasis. So the wound healing is immediately within a day. So that is the hemostasis. So the hemostasis means constriction, then platelets aggregation, degranulation, and fibrin formation. These are all the 3 different stages occurred in the hemostasis. Then next step 2, inflammation. So up to 24 to 48 hours, the wound is occurred in 2 days of pain. 2 days of pain. So that is the inflammation. So we are identifying the neutrophil infiltration, then monocyte infiltration and differentiation. What about the activity of the monocytes and macrophages in our immune system? Then lymphocyte infiltration. This is the stage occur in the inflammation. Then the third one is the proliferation. So the wound occurred in the particular wounding body in from the 2 days to 3 weeks. That is the proliferation. So re-epithelialization, the skin again reappeared. That is the re-epithelialization. Then angiogenesis, newly formed the angiogenesis, and the collagen synthesis, extracellular matrix formation. So these are all the phases present in the proliferation as parts. Then finally remodeling. So the wound is a very big wound in our body. So that is the remodeling. So we have to change our skin also sometimes. So that is the remodeling. So it will take 3 weeks to 2 years of time. So that is the change. Here, a lot of issues here in our epithelial region. That is the remodeling. So the collagen remodeling. The collagen is an important thing part to remodel the particular skin, and vascular maturation and regression. So this is the remodeling aspect. So next one is the Ficus bengalensis. So this is also very helpful to treat the wound healing. Various phytochemical components are present. Then another one is the Cyanodont Bacterium, belongs to the family Poaceae. This is the common grass. So apigenin, orientin, vitexin, and luteolin. So these are all the major components are also present in the particular grass. So these 2 plant species are also having wound healing capacities. Then researchers are also reported. Then Symplococcus racemosus. So these are also contain various phytochemical components. So important constituents are also present, especially allergic acid and butylenic acid and oleanic acid, like that. So same like that, Stereocorpus santalinus. That means the red sandalwood, red wood. So the Stereocorpus santalinus is also used in the traditional herbal medicinal system, especially in antipyretic, anti-inflammatory activities and anti-helminthic, tonic, so and so. So this is also one of the important wound healing properties. Then next one is the Ficus racemosa. Then this is also contain beta-sitosterol and H-lupial acetic acid. Then another one is the Stereocorpus Dantalinus. So this is the Glarisia glabra. This is also having a glaricin component. It is also present in the particular system. So it is also reduce the sugar level in our blood. So the compound name glaricin. So that is known as, it is also generally used for the wound healing properties. Then next thing, one minute. Berberis artistata. So the herb of the day, Berberis artistata, is literally having a health properties. So it's also used for some skin disorders and treat eye ailments, and also good for diabetics and reduce the melasma. Then also treat as ulcerative and also piles problems. Then curcumin. Curcumin is also commonly used for wound healing properties. These two plants contain active phytocomponents present. So next one plan is Centella asiatica and Tridax procumbens. So centellose and centelloside is the active phytocomponent present in the system. So it is also used for various disorders and minor wounds. People are reported. The metacoside is the active component of the centella. Then Astraceae, the Tridax procumbens, it also contain various phytochemical components. It is also helpful for wound healing properties. Apart from wound healing, it is also antifungal and insect repellent plant species. Then next one is the Furbia Nerifolia, belongs to the family Euphorbiaceae. So these are also contain larger amount of phytocompounds are also present. Same like that aloe vera, already we discussed about. So many phenolic compounds are also present. These phenolic compounds are also helpful for the wound healing properties. Same like that in Euphorbia nerifolia also. So beta carotene and geranium C and beta acetylene, these are also generally used. So anti-diabetic properties. So the diabetic mellitus. What is diabetes? That is the metabolic disease that causes high blood sugar in our blood system. So that is known as the diabetics. So the hormone insulin involves the move of sugar from the blood into our cells to store for the energy. So these diabetics is divided into two types. One is the type 1 diabetics and type 2 diabetics. The type 1 diabetics is the initial system of our immune system. So the body system fighting infection, attacks and destroys the insulin producing beta cells and pancreas. So pancreas is one of the important part to secrete the insulin. So that is the thing. Type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes are said to have an insulin resistance. So people who have middle-aged or older are most likely to get a kind of diabetes. So it is used to called adult onset diabetes. So these chart shows that the diabetic chart before meal, then after meal. So we have to check frequently in the laboratories. Then another one is the cholesterol, LDL and HDL. So it stands for low density lipoproteins. So it's sometimes called as bad cholesterol, LDL. Then HDL stands for high density lipoproteins. It is sometimes called the good cholesterol. So these are all the regarding to the diabetic related issues. So we are using the plant Ficus religiosa, belongs to the family Moraceae. So this is also having a lot of research studies so and so going on. So phytosterols, flavonoids, tannins, and pyrrocoumarine derivatives, namely bergantine and bergaptal, is also present. So this is the active component. Then Eugenia Jambalona. So Eugenia Jambalona is well known. this is the seasonal fruit available in especially South India. Not only South India, most of the places they are also cultivating in the agricultural land or in the farm sites. So it is also contain rich phytochemical components such as quercetin, betulinic acid, so and so. So these are also very helpful to reduce the diabetics in our body. So that is the most important thing. People say, they have to take because it is a seasonal fruit. It is not available in the year. So next one is the Osimum sanctum, Lamiaceae. This is also contain various phytochemical compounds. This is also used to reduce the sugar level. Then same like that, Momordica carencia. This is also used there. Then next species is Stereocorpus Marsupium and Trigonella foingracium. So Trigonella foingracium is commonly used to the sugar patients every day in the morning. People they are taking in empty stomach. This also reduce the sugar level in our body. Not only sugar level, supposed to some ulcerative patients are there, means they have to take the fenugreek in everyday morning before the food. So they are also helpful to cure the some wounds in the stomach. The seed extract and mucilage seeds leaves are can decrease the flavonoids of the particular plant species, which is also helpful to reduce the, then it may be a high level cholesterol or lower level cholesterol. It is also commonly used. So this is the another plant species. Then next one is the Gymnoma belongs to the family Skilpadaceae, and another one is the Allium sativum belongs to the family Amarilidaceae. So it is also contain a lot of phytocomponents and lot of studies going on. These two plants are also having an anti-diabetic properties. So next thing is we pass on to medicinal plants against ulcer.
Audio is breaking, sir.
It's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
Yeah. So if the wound here, the stomach appeared like that in a reddish in color. So this is the in types of gastric ulcer. First one, the type 1. That means in the andrum, so near lesser curative. So this is the first type. Second type is combined gastric and duodenal ulcer. This is covering in the 25%. Third type is pre-pyrolytic. So this is covered in 15%. Then type 4, ulcer in the proximal level, that is the 5%. So these are all the different what's meant by ulcer. So we know about these things. So next, some of the plants are commonly used to reduce the ulcer aspects. So one is Acacia arabica, belongs to the family Mimosaceae. Then second one is Adansonia digitata, belongs to the family Malvaceae. So these are all different chemical constituents along with some minerals. They are also very helpful to reduce in our body, especially in those who are affected in the ulcer patients. So another plant is eagle marmalis and Allium sativum belongs to the family Liliaceae, and eagle marmalis belongs to Rutaceae. So the chemical constituents, flavonoids, tannins, and saponins. So these are all very helpful to reduce the ulcer, those who are affected. So induced by aspirin plus pyrrolus, legated gastric ulceration in the rats and aqueous extract of the leaves. So it is also administered orally for 21 days, daily dose on gram. So like that, Allium sativum. So regularly people say they are taking Allium sativum in our food. So it is also sulfur, iodine, and salicylic acid, and some other combinations apart from important nutrient and complementary substances containing several vitamins. So this is also helpful to reduce the ulcer compounds. So these plants are also reported. Same like that, the aloe vera. So aloe vera also commonly used against ulcer. People say every day they are also taking in the morning in empty stomach. The sore, generally inside the sore is available. People say they are used the sore for treatment of chronic ulcers. Then next one is the Ananas comosa. So it is also available in all the local markets and in so many forms. So the chemical constituents like alkaloids, flavonoids, saponins, and tannins, seeds, yield oil, and resin, seeds. So these are also contain very in an accurate principle. So leaves made into paste without adding water and applied in unhealthy ulcers. So this is also very helpful. So one of the important thing, both aloe vera and as well as the Ananas comosa. So next one is the neem plant. So this is also nimbudine, phenolic compounds, saponin, and flavonoids, and alkaloid named margosine. So the margosine is available in the market level in the form of product. So leaves mixed with the sesamum seeds is very useful for unhealthy ulcerations. So in the plant Bauhinia variegata belongs to Cisalpinaceae. So the chemical constituents reported in this plant, a lot of chemicals, especially in tannin and glucose and the browning of gum. So the decoction of the bark is generally useful for loss in ulcers. So various phytochemicals are also identified. Some of the plant researchers also reported. So neem generally used for various diseases, to cure various diseases in several aspects. Totally, it is a good firstmost plant in the traditional, not only traditional medicine system, in modern medicine system also. Then another important plant is Beta vulgaris, then Carica Papaya. So the chemical constituents of the plant in Beta vulgaris is the betaine. So the decation of the root, fresh decation of the root or tuber. So it is also with the help of vinegar added is an excellent for all kinds of ulcers in running sores. Then Carica papaya belongs to Caricaceae. This also contain a good phytocomponents, especially it is useful for in the form of fruit by salads and jellies and stew while in ripe fruits. Generally, people are used ripe fruits. So it is also used for the treatment of ulcer. Every day morning, people they are taking before the diet. So that's also very helpful to reduce the ulcer. Carica papaya. And also a lot of activities. People so far reported anti-inflammatory, anti-tuberculosis, antimicrobial, anti-arthritic, then anti-sicking, antifungal. So and so researches are going on in Carica papaya. So this is a most important medicinal plant. Then another anti-ulceral plant is Mimosa pudica, belongs to the family Mimosaceae. So it is also contain flavonoids, quercetin, and naringenin, saponins, tannins, gums, and mucilage. So the discussion of the fresh leaves and seeds are consumed in intestinal ulcer. This is also very helpful. The alkaloid, active alkaloid is the mimosine. So it is also considered. Manakatanti also reported this plant is very useful for the stress management. This plant is commonly known as touch me not. Whenever we touch the plant, the leaves are automatically folding. This is the physiological mechanism of the particular plant. So stress management. The children are touch the particular plant. They are playing in and around their home. So next one is the Mombolica carantia cucurbitaceae. Sorry, in my place some network problem. So, Professor, it's okay, audible?
Yes, audible, sir. But voice is breaking little.
Okay. Some network. Moringa oleifera. So it is also the leaf juice extract is also commonly used for gastric ulcers. Then another plant is Phyllanthus nururi, belongs to the family Euphorbiaceae. This is also used for anti-ulcer aspects. Then next plant is Thidium gujava, myrtaceae. So it is also contain rich phytochemical components. This is also used. Then Sesbania grandiflora. In Tamil, it is commonly known as agatti. So Sesbania grandiflora leaves prepared in the form of soup and taken orally. So tannins and saponins are considered for the treatment of ulcer. So it is these two plants are also reported anti-ulcer properties. Then Hibiscus rosa sinensis and Mangifera indica. So these are also reported. Mangifera indica is the seasonal fruit, only available in the summer seasons. So it is also contain alkaloids, saponins, tannins, and flavonoids. So the leaf extracts are also dissolved in rice bran oil and given orally for ulcer. So in traditional medicinal system, the plant is also reported anti-ulcer activity. So the mangiferin is the active phytocomponent present in the mango, Mangifera indica. Same like that in root of Hibiscus rosa sinensis is the traditionally used as the treatment of ulcer among the Khani tribes in Kanyakumari district, Tamil Nadu. Some of the papers are also reported regarding the anti-ulcer activities Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Then next one is the Solanum nigrum. So Solanum nigrum is also contain various phytocomponents, especially flavonoids are also contained. Then the fresh leaves are consumed for intestinal ulcer. So the fruits and leaves are commonly used. The alpha-solanin are also active component in the particular plant species. Then Terminalia chebula. So it is also contain tannic acid is more than 45% and large amount of other acids are also available. So it is also commonly used. Then what are the medicinal plants with demonstrated anti-tuberculosis activity? So these are all the plants. Anegogeus liquorpa, Caparis bracei, Solanum torvum, Cinnamomum verum, Terminalia avicenioides, then Combretum species, then Galenia argentica, Acalifa indica, Allium cephas. So these are all, I reported only few, but scientists reported a lot of plants are also reported anti-tuberculosis activity. Then medicinal plant with demonstrated activity against pneumonia. So pneumonia is the fever. So these are all the medicinal plants are commonly used. Another, so many plants are also reported by various researchers. So in Echinops, Adenocalypse, Verbascum fruticulosum, then Beta vulgaris, then Parateria judicata, Urtica urens. So these are all the plant species are reported against the pneumonia. So what are the symptoms of pneumonia? So these are all musculex, dry cough, then abdominal pain, then cold in the head to throat, then fever with shivering, then chest pain, then nausea and vomiting. So these are all the different symptoms for pneumonia. Then what are the medicinal plants generally used for anti-asthmatic activity? So nowadays the pollution is increased. A lot of people affected with asthma. So people, they are inhaling the medicine through, so they are also free for their lungs. So whenever the medicine is entered into the lungs, automatically they are free for respiration. It is a respiratory issue. The asthma is the respiratory issue due to allergy. So this is the normal airway of the. Then this asthma is some tickle, some syringe. So this is the severe asthma. This lungs transported in tube. It is the severe asthma. So it's affected means so undergoing very dangerous level. So some dust mites, air pollution, pollen grains, then pet dander. So these are also allergies for asthma patients. These are the plant species commonly used for the against the asthmatic activity. Some of the plants demonstrated activity against Vibrio cholerae. So cholera is one of the most important thing like COVID-19. Before the invention of medicine, so many people died affected cholera. So this worldwide map shows that these are all the countries affected by cholera once upon a time. So these are all the various plant species are commonly used to against the Vibrio cholerae. So they are also reported by various peoples. So the Vibrio cholerae is mostly food and water contamination and then poor hygienic aspect. So nowadays it is almost the cholera is reduced. In the early stage, it is also very serious to most of the countries. Then these are all the plant reported in hepatoprotective effect. So in the form of extract, flavonoids, some of the glycerin, then polysaccharides, lignins, extract, saponins. So these are all the ingredients to utilize the people reported against the hepatoprotective activity. So based on the liver, these are all the different plants commonly reported the hepatoprotective activity. Then medicinal plants for diabetes mellitus. So diabetes mellitus. So the healthy, the pancreas is the most important thing to secrete the insulin. So it is also entered into glucose and insulin receptors. So the type 1 diabetics, the pancreas is failure to produce insulin. That is the type 1 diabetics. Then type 2, the glucose and insulin. So the cells fail to respond to the insulin properly. Insulin, it's not respond. That is the second stage. This is the dangerous stage. This is the initial. Type 1 is the initial stage. This is the healthy stage. So mostly the medicinal plants for diabetic mellitus is the commonly used. So some of the anti-diabetic medicinal plants targeted organ is the liver, then muscle, then adipose tissue, then intestine, then pancreas. So these are all the things. These are all located in the same place. It is a most important thing in our human being. Because one affected means it affected all these organelles. That is the problem. So these are all the plant species are also so far reported in medicinal plant against the diabetes mellitus. Some medicinal plants to treat edemas. So edemas means the watering in over the eye, then hand, then foot. So these are all the plant species is commonly used for thyme, globularia, and horse chestnut. Kidney stone. Nowadays, people not drinking water, especially girls. Those who are going for office or those who are going to school or college, especially women, are not taking properly in water. So automatically the salt content raised in our blood system, then it will form the calcium oxalate. So it is very dangerous. The pain is in the backbone here. So if the stone is formed like that, this is passed on through the urine sometimes. These are all the healthy plant for taking remedies for kidney stones, olive oil, lemon juice, coconut water, apple cider and watermelon, and pomegranate, fig juice, aloe vera, and basil. These are all the most important things. Then plants provide various phytochemical compounds. These phytochemical compounds can reduce the particular formation of the kidney stone. This is the important thing. So these are all the different properties. That means the anti-apoptotic effects, oxidative damage, diuretic effects, stone nucleation. So these are all the different, which is the help of different enzymes involved. These are all the high oxalate foods. So we avoid these high oxalate foods, those who are affected the kidney stone. This is the major thing. Nowadays, so many issues are raised due to the formation of the kidney stone. Next, the most important thing. Nowadays, people are eating junk food. Lot of junk food in our system, digestive system. We load enormous load to our digestive weight. So include these herbs and spices in our diet. So lose their weight faster. Ginger, black pepper, mustard, ginger, cinnamon, basil, thyme, so and so. These are all the plants commonly used for the weight loss. So next, the foremost important thing, we are stayed in home last 4 months due to the COVID-19. So the COVID-19 is not only arrest by us in our home, so it is also affect the economy of the nation, not only economy of the nation, economy of the worldwide. So what are the symptoms of COVID-19? So fever, dry cough and tiredness, less symptoms. So aches and pains, sore throat, diarrhea, conjunctives, headache, then loss of taste or smell, the raise on skin, discoloration of fingers or toes. Then serious symptoms, difficult to breathing. This is the last stage of the COVID-19, or shortness of breath, chest pain or pressure, or loss of speech or movement. So this is the serious symptoms of COVID-19. So if identified the person as a serious symptom, seek immediate medical attention. If you have serious symptoms, so always call before visiting your doctor or health facility. This is the most important thing. On average, it takes 5 to 6 days from the when someone is infected with the virus for symptoms. So however, it can up to 14 days, minimum 14 days. So the government of India now fighting against COVID. The Prime Minister Modi listed 7 tasks to fight COVID-19. So take care of elderly, practice social distancing, follow Ayush Ministry tips to boost our immunity, then download the Arogya Setu app. What about your body condition? Then look after the needy, then don't fire people from jobs, then respect COVID-19 fighters. So the coronavirus infections can be prevented through our own traditional medicinal system, Ayurveda, Unani, and Homeopathy. Because our Indian food, our Indian system of food contain lot of spices and along with some medicinal plants. So these plants contain various phytochemical compounds. These phytochemical phytochemicals raise our immunity. This is the nature. When compared to all other countries, so India's COVID-19 effect is very less. Only it will affect mostly older peoples, very few of the younger peoples, because we are eating lot of phytochemicals, but we don't know. What are the phytochemicals? Is the active ingredient against the COVID. So we stop the COVID with the help of lot of medicinal plants. So this is the history of COVID-19. It is reported in the Wuhan city in China. So and so it is not necessary. We know about. Then coronavirus is already reported. The coronavirus reported in the month of March, May 20, World Health Organization is characterized. Most of the countries are coming under lockdown system. So the SARS, MERS, and COVID-19 outbreaks, how we can face the COVID-19 virus. Corona VI virus than D 2019. So reported in the earlier era in yearly 2002, 2003. Some of the publications are also available through the droplets of saliva, major important thing. So the infected individuals experienced mild to moderate respiratory illness. Mainly, the final stage is the respiratory illness. That is the most important thing. So who are all saved against the COVID-19? Those who are affected the heart disease, those who are affected diabetes, those who are affected the hypertension, those who are affected the chronic respiratory diseases. So these are all mostly likely to develop the serious illness. So this is the most important thing. So people are very safe against the COVID-19. So COVID-19 test, people nowadays, they are running in the hospitals or the primary health centers or the government sectors. They are used to the RT-PCR for the identification of the COVID-19 and isothermal nucleic acid amplification. While other tests detect the antibodies, so antibodies produced as a reaction to the infection. These are all the different kinds of activities is going on. But the peoples of scientists, they are also searched the vaccine against the COVID-19 date 24 hours searching. So studies have shown that the genome sequence of SARS-CoV-2 is highly similar to the genome of SARS-CoV, so which wreaked havoc in 26 countries in 2003. It is already reported, but nowadays it is a very huge amount effect in the world. Well, so that is the led them to 9 specific plant molecules that may be used to develop drugs against COVID-19. So some of the phytochemicals are also obtained from the major plant sources: Sorothanas, Philanthus embolica, Proximus siberiana, Camellia sinensis, Glaricia urulensis, and Amaranthus tricolor. These are all the active phytocomponents, which is also helpful. So we hope these phytochemical compounds helpful fighting against COVID. CSIR and Ministry of Ayush are also trying to solve the issue, not only in our nation, in the worldwide. So researchers searched for bioactive components from the medicinal plants. So found that nelfinar and lopinar may represent the potential treatment options. So the luteolin and 7-glucoside, diamoxidine and apigenin 7-glucoside, these are all the different phytochemical compounds obtained from the medicinal plants and also act as the COVID-19 N-Pro inhibitors. Further studies are needed to confirm their potential medicinal use. This is the thing related to COVID-19. Some various phytocompounds like thymoquinone, salvinorin, biolobide, citral, menthol, noscopin, and beta-silencing glycoside. So these are all the other phytochemical constituents are also used for fighting against COVID-19. People, so they are doing research in various aspects, especially to inhibit the activity of COVID-19. Plants are commonly used, known as the biofactories. So most of the vaccines are known to be the most cost-effective and efficacious method to lessen the disease burden in infectious diseases. So thus the experts are striving towards developing an effective vaccine against the COVID-19. So people are also trying to develop lot of gene sequences, a lot of researchers to identify the new molecule, to identify the new medicinal plant to solve the corona issue. So people are only hope with their plant specimens. So some of the universities in California, they are also trying to use the plant virus to developing the COVID-19 vaccine that can be shipped in anywhere, so in a global without. So like that, several tubes and extracts are also obtained from the plant resources. So then next one is the marketing. If the vaccine is identified or medicine is identified with the help of medicinal plant after the final approval of all the authorities, so mostly aromatic plants are very helpful. People are hope to identify the new drugs. So more than 125 species of plants or ingredients. These formulations including Glaricia species that is protected, the part of the range in China. So formulations. So many Chinese peoples are also used along with the traditional medicinal system to solve these issues. Then highlights. So determine the natural compounds. What are the natural compounds present in the particular system? Then molecular docking studies. So what about the cytotoxic of the T cells, the powerful serial killers to recognize? So the toxic enzymes, what is the role of toxic enzymes? Kill infected cell in exist or death. So strategic matrium organized by the immune system. So replication practice. So these are all important things. So mostly the ages of 65 to 95 who are followed the Mediterranean type of diet along with taking a daily 400 IU. So synthetic del alpha tocopherol is converted to 363 milligram of DL alpha tocopherol by dividing 400 IU by 1.110. So the vitamin D is the supplement in a year showed the marginal increase and fighting against the such type of T cells. So these are all the important things. So people are follow the Mediterranean diet. So what is the, you can search in the Google Mediterranean diet, you can get the database. So these are all the Mediterranean diet. The graph shows, the premise shows that, so we can eat regularly and process in the fried food and also regulate our immunity. So in Ayurveda, experts are also enhanced in our immune system. So then helpful our immune system. So the body diseases. So best Chakrapanya India. So the Ayurvedic health supplement is also provide and also enhance our immunity and as well as lungs and respiratory system. So Kutki, this is also belongs to the family Plantagenaceae. It is an Ayurvedic and Unani traditional medicinal system. So the rhizome of plant is also used in the treatment of various diseases. So this is also contain antiviral properties. Then Philanthus empirica. So this is also used in the Ayurvedic medicinal system and the anti-cancer drugs. So this is also contain some antiviral properties. So rich of antioxidants. Then Guduchi. So this is also active against the diabetes and the high cholesterol aspect. So this is also very useful for antiviral properties people they are taking. Then Osimum basilicum, this is also already informed. So it is also used for respiratory and digestive and skin diseases. Then Allium sativum, the garlic. So this is also contain lot of phytochemicals. It is also used for cold and flu. Then turmeric curcuma longa. So then curcuma magnesium, potassium, disease and viruses. So these are also curcumin content is the active constituent against the viruses. Then gingiber officinale. So this is also used for commonly anti-inflammatory, anti-immunity. So most of the next one is the Vithana somnifera. Most of the plant species are commonly used in our food system. So which is also raise our immunity. So next, what about the description of the Indian medicinal plants and antiviral property? This is also recommended by our Ministry of Ayush and ICMR. Vitex trifolia. So casticin is immunomodulatory and anti-inflammatory effect on lungs, and as well as the dried leaves are burned to deter mosquitoes. This is also contained. This phytochemicals is enhance immunity in our body. So punica granatum. So this is also contained punicalgin is the active component. So it inhibited viral glycoprotein and anti-HSV1. So this is also recommended by ASUS. Then Euphorbia granulata, then Allium sativum, then Acacia nilotica, then Andrographis paniculata, then Cyanara colimes, then Strobilanthus fuchsia, then Vitex negundo, then Sepharanthus indicus. So these are all the plant Osimum gitmonstrium, so Clatoria ternacea, so Embolica ribis, then Hyacinthus niger, then Eugenia Jambalona, Geminima sylvestre. So these are all the plants already we discussed. So these are all plants contain active phytocomponents, quercetin, camphorol, gallic acid, catechin. These phytochemicals are very helpful to raise our immunity, and some molecular docking studies are also identified by Abdurrahman Elmi et al. In 2020. They are also published the particular compounds against the SARS-CoV-2, and also active phytocomponents are very helpful to raise our immunity. Then REGS-A2. So we I hope about all are know well about what about the usage of REGS-A2. This is also introduced by our government of India, and the Delhi government are also decided to utilize the medicinal plants against the COVID-19. This is the database. Then in Tamil Nadu government also well done against COVID-19. Lot of formalities and a lot of facilities provided to the public, and checking the COVID-19 and social distance and providing the vegetables and the sanitation. These are all the important things. Then COVID-19 immunity tips. So how we can raise the immunity? One is the Kaba Sura Kudinir. What's meant by Kaba Sura Kudinir? So and another one is the Nilavembu Kudinir, 60 ml of adults and 30 ml for children. So after COVID-19, we have to take Amukra Surna tablets, 2 tablets per day after meals food. Then gooseberry legium, 5 gram per day after meals food. It is also recommended. So what's meant by Kaba Sura Kudinir drinking water? The Kaba Sura drinking water is mostly involved in the 15 plant species involved in this system. So one is dried ginger, then pipuli, clove, root, then Akaraka root, then Costa, Karpuravalli, Adadoda, then Kadakais, Sirudeko, then Nilavembu, then Vatamutara. These are all 15 constituents. So 5 gram of Suranam along with the ml. So we have to take after morning 30 ml. So next one is the Nila variant of nearly just 1 minute. I will come and join. Hey, sorry for the inconvenience. So these are all the 9 plant species are composed the Nilavembu drinking water. So 5 gram of Suranam along with 240 ml of water plus gently heat and reduce 60 ml. So same like that Kaba Sura Kodinir, Nilavembu drinking water also enhanced our immunity. So this is unanimously recommended by all the state governments are also following this method. Then herbal tea preparation. So in Tulasi is 4 ratio, then Lavangam in 2 ratio, then the dry ginger in 2 ratio, then with the help of 150 ml of water and 1 ratio of pepper along with nut saccharide, then lemon. So this is the preparation of the herbal tea, which is also helpful to reduce our immunity. So the herbal tea is free from caffeine. So that is the most important thing. So most of the people nowadays, they are also taking such type of herbal teas. then Vedu Pidital, then steam herbal inhalation. So 1 liter of water with the steam one time per day. So along with the Vitex Nakundo and turmeric, or otherwise the neem leaf along with eucalyptus oil or eucalyptus leaf. This is the method. So the respiration is very free. The lungs are very free. So the air is entered, oxygen is entered into both the sides of lungs and also well sleeping with our human beings. This is the our own ancient traditional medicinal system. So the turmeric or eucalyptus oil, then astatiractin, it also contain phytochemicals, volatile phytochemical compounds. When we inhale the way when we inhale the vapor, which is also very helpful to reduce the particular things. Then the national biodiversity also promote the medicinal plant gardens and medicinal plant cultivation. So a lot of schemes are also available. Then the Indian medicinal plant database contain how many Ayurveda medicinal plants are available, Siddha medicine, Unani medicinal plants, Homeopathy medicinal plants, and the folk medicinal plants, and so these are all the database is very helpful to identify the medicinal plants, how they are going to treat and illness of the particular patients. Then different schemes are also available in the Ministry of Ayush. They are providing to enhance our own Ayush medicinal system. These are all the different authorities. They have to follow the cultivation of the medicinal plants. And also these such type of herbals Ayush recommended, so immunity, so boosting in our foods, so it's also very helpful. So the morning tiffin, what about the herbal tea in 6:30, then tiffin in 8:30, then herbal tea once again in 10:30. So these are all the combination of food, different food recommended by Ayush. Our Tamil Nadu government also provided the pamphlets to the public. Then lunch. So one is white rice or mixed rice, anyone, the black gram rice or gooseberry rice, whatever it may be, along with the greens and sambar and rasam. So the rasam contain more amount of pepper and solanum, trilobatum, lemon, and ginger. So which is also helpful to increase the our own immunity and also prevent the cold or cough. That is the most important thing. And delicious vegetables, delicacies, carrot, beetroot, beans, whatever it may be. Then finally we can take the Siraga water. So this is the lunch schedule. Then dinner in 5 p.m. herbal tea. Again, we have to eat the herbal tea, the asimum, dried ginger and lavangapatte, then pepper and lemon extract, then nut sakari. Then 7:30 p.m. Light dinner along with the ginger chutney or coconut chutney, whatever it may be. Then turmeric milk. So turmeric is the active phytocomponents. So finally, we conclude that we follow the tiffin, lunch, and dinner. This is the most important. These slides are my conclusion. Not my conclusion. The Ayush also recommended the menu of the particular menu card. So the turmeric and pepper and milk along with the borosius sugar. So this is 9 p.m. So dinner is the 7 p.m. So these are all the food items are also enhance our immunity systems. Then these are all the food items. These are all the food items. So what about the one guava per day? Then one large pepper, 340 mg per day, 1 cup of broccoli, 80 mg per day. So these are all the different menus are also, these kinds of menus also increase the immunity in our human beings. Then India, the land of spices, all the states, mostly all the states and the union territories, they have to cultivate the spices and the continents, which is also very helpful. And our Indian spices food are also encouraged to cultivate the such type of spices. These are all active ingredients. These are all commonly used in the cooking in our items, in our menus, so which is also very helpful to raise our immunity. That is the most important thing. Then most of the spices are also exported from India. That is the another most important thing. Then Kerala is the one among the important state. Kerala spices in market. They are also produce a larger amount of spices. It is generally known as spices garden in India. That is the Kerala state. So the nature of the water and the nature of the soil and the system, ecosystem is the forest ecosystem mostly. So they have the cultivation practices is very easy and to collect the spices. So spices board also located in Kerala state, which is also encourage the farmers to cultivate the spices. There are different schemes they are providing. So in different state-wise they are produced. So finally, I conclude that basically the ethnobotanical information is the most important thing. We have to conserve the knowledge, and also whatever the local names of the plant species and the indigenous uses of the plant species and the significant potential benefits and humans and animals worldwide. So the generation. So we have to lot of job opportunities for the younger generations. That is the most important thing. This is my native of Palani. Even the god Lord Muruga. This is the Lord Muruga statue. One of the Siddhar Bohar. The Bohar is also framed the statue with the help of lot of medicinal plants, especially Navapasnam, 9 plants. These 9 plants are very toxic plants. They have to frame the Lord Muruga. So most of the peoples in Tamil Nadu after Tirupati, this is the famous in my native peoples. They are most of the devotees are came here. Finally, I thank to my well-wishers, my professors, my vice chancellors, my teachers from the school, my teachers from my college, my teacher from university. I am very humbly thankful with their support. Without I am here, so I am very thankful to the people. Then finally, I thank the president and members, the management of the college study in Sri Bhuvanendra College Test Karkela. I am especially my special thanks to Manjunatha Kotiyan, principal, and Yogesh Kumar. He follows every step for organizing the webinar last 20 days. Contact frequently in WhatsApp, then mail, then checking everything. The head of the department, Yogesh Kumar. I am a very special thanks to Dr. Yogesh sir. Then Shankar Kurwa, lecturer in botany, he is also very supportive to us. And Divyaksha Prabhu, computer science department, he is also acted as the technical assistant. I am very happy to share. He got a time, sir, which time we have to test 2 o'clock. 1:55 he is available. So I am very thankful to Divyaksha Prabhu for organizing and hosting the particular webinar from your technical support and faculty members, supporting staff members and students, the Bhuvanendra College, Karkela, Udupi district, Karnataka. And also, finally, I am very thankful to the participants from various places of our nation. So finally, I thank, keep your distance, wash your hands, use tissue for coughs, avoid touching your face. Thank you very much for my doctors, my hospital staff, nurses, first responders, pharmacy staff, police, firefighters, EMTs, delivery drivers, restaurant workers, truck drivers, grocery employees. These are all the foremost people for the last 4 months dedicated to our welfare.
Thank you, Professor Balakrishnan, for your wonderful and nice presentation. Now the session is open for the questionnaire. Hello, Professor. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Sir, there are questions from participants.
Yes, sir, please.
What is Panchakarma we have to do, sir?
Panchakarma. So we have to prepare the, first of all, we have to select the particular plant, Panchakarma. That means 5 plant species. So we have some marketly available. It is also ready-madely marketly available. That's why I told you Panchakarma.
Yeah. Next question, sir. Sir, which plant can build our immune system, as well as mention the plant source for vitamin C?
Vitamin C, that is Jambalika, gooseberry. Gooseberry is the rich vitamin C and also enhance our immune system. Both 2 varieties are there in Jambalika. Both are very helpful.
Next question, sir. Sir, can we consume the plant directly for diabetes? For example, Ficus religiosa.
Yes, there is no poison. Ficus religiosa is not a poisonous plant. So we have to directly. Because in the herbal market, it's available in the form of tablet or powder. People should have to eat raw material.
Okay, sir.
Already tested, reported. If supposed to plant is very poisonous means it is very difficult to for us. Mostly we didn't eat directly, so we can collect the tablet or powder from the Siddha medicinal stores or Siddha doctors recommended by from the government hospitals or private Siddha doctors like that.
Next question, sir. How to cure intestinal infection in kids? How to cure intestinal infection in kids?
Maximum people are using Asimum. That is very helpful.
Next question from Tamil Vannan, sir. What will be the plant used to treat PCOD or PCOS?
That's no idea, sir. No idea. Yesterday I will discuss with friend, but I don't have an idea.
Okay, sir. Next one. Which plant can be used for skin allergy caused by food?
Skin allergy caused by food.
Yes, sir.
Skin allergy, mainly we have to use Asadiracta indica, neem. Neem is a better source than turmeric. Turmeric is the better source.
Next one, sir. From Dr. B.S. Ravi Kumar. What plant is to be used to control obesity in man?
Obesity, I didn't touch it, sir. I don't know any idea. Obesity.
Next one, sir. Sir, besides henna, which is used to strengthen nails, which plant help to cure nail problems?
So some dye-yielding plants are available. So we have to identify what are the some dye-yielding plants. So such type of plants are very helpful instead of henna, indigo, like that.
Next one, sir. Sir, is there any plant medicine to treat roundworm infection like Ascaris, Lubricoids?
Here also the combination of neem leaf along with turmeric, it is also helpful for that disease.
Sir, one more last question. Which plant is used to prevent pimples?
Which plant?
Which plant is used to control pimples or prevent the pimples?
Pimples.
Yes,
so, some oil extracts, especially the volatile plants, mentha, then eucalyptus, then white tex. So what are the plants having an aroma plants, aromatic plants? So we have to steam bath. That is very helpful to reduce the pimples.
Yeah.
Even neem also reduce the pimples.
Sir, next one, sir. Can neem be consumed by diabetic patients?
Neem.
Yes, sir.
So it's already reported means the people have to take maximum neem skin-based diseases. Diabetics, some other plants are also reported, neem also reported, but only what is the active constituent. In market, it is available active phytocomponent that will be only useful for us.
Sir, can you please tell? Yes, sir. Hello.
Lot of medicinal plants are also nowadays available. Most of the plants are used for various diseases. So according to, we follow the doctor's instructions. That is the most important thing. Without their knowledge, we can't utilize. That is a very dangerous. Sometimes some plants are allergic to some patients. So it is a very cautious in nature.
Sir, mention the use of shatavari in curing wrinkles.